welcome back to
Welcome
back. Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love. We are watching Not Me. We are recapping episode 2. RJ's drinking his Canada Dry, zero cola.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Ginger ale for my upset stomach, honey.
Because we're in our 30s,
Because we're
bitch.
in our 30s and I ate 3 slices of pizza, Detroit style. So you know they were thickums.
RJ, how are you? This is our second time recording this. Let's be transparent.
Let's be transparent. It's
I
the
think
year
2025
of
is the year of transparency.
Year of transparency.
Mhm.
Yeah. I woke up.
Okay.
I was like, I'm ready to edit Not Me episode 2 today.
And this was last week.
This was last week. And I was like, oh, sometimes our monitor, you kind of have to like unplug it and replug it again. But famously, HDMI cords are so thickums that when I was like trying to,
Jostler Fox.
our external hard drive that housed all of Boys Love, the entire conglomerate that is Boys Love.
Yeah. We had it on one.
We had it on one external hard drive.
Yep.
She took a tumble.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it was fine.
I wish I had been. No, I'm actually glad I wasn't.
'Cause it was
Because
like-
I'm sure you.
Oh, Adam,
Because it was bad when I got here.
oh yeah.
When I picked you up. What did you do?
A lot of screaming.
Did you just do the when a villager in Animal Crossing, like you hit him with their net too many times? Yeah.
That
Yeah.
yeah.
We took it to the store. The store you go to.
You at the store.
And they were like, well, we'll work on it. They worked on it for a few days. I came back and picked it up today, and they were like, it opened twice and then immediately closed. And I was like, I just need it. I was like, genuinely, I need it open long enough to get like 6 files. That's it. That's really it. All the rest of it, throw it away. We can recreate all of it. But the magic of me talking about episode 2 for the first time, I mean, you can't recapture it.
No.
But we'll try our best.
We'll try our best to recapture. We quickly
They did
watched
say they
that
want us to bring it back in, though, this weekend to see if they can
try
again.
So there's going to be like a Snyder cut.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
Lost tapes.
Maybe we'll release another episode 2 recap.
Yeah.
That would just be on Patreon. Last time we were with White, who's masquerading as black. He was on the back of a motorcycle. He was on Sean's motorcycle, and they were off to Tawie's house.
To burn her down.
Tawie's like forest villa.
Yeah.
White's like already like, oh, I just broke up with my girlfriend, so I'm like very straight, famously.
Yeah.
And Sean's like, grab me by the waist. I need to go faster. I need to make sure you won't fall off. And he's like, oh my God, I'm fine. Like, I don't want to touch you like that, diva. And
Fellas, is it gay to hold your bro's waist while you ride on a motorcycle
it's hard to ask
together?
a question like that when we're watching a BL because the answer is yes.
Yes.
Because that's the point, is that it is gay.
But then, like, in Thailand, like, people are scootering. It's just whoever...
Yeah, that's my question is, like, if I was to, like, be like, oh, I'm getting an Uber, but the Uber's a scooter. You probably don't hold them. You probably, like, hold the part of your seat, I would assume. But they probably don't go that fast either.
Well, you would side saddle, though.
Well, I'm a dainty lady.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just like Bonnie Blue. Just got my notes here.
See, it doesn't work with just normal nails. The cue cards have to have drag nails.
I think they have to be big.
They have to be
Next time we
bigger.
have to get the, like, what is this, 3x5?
That's 4x6.
This is 4x6?
Yeah.
We gotta do 5x7.
Some manly, big-ass hands.
I know, my big masculine mitts. Ha!
These jokes were our original. These jokes were not in the first cut.
These are original. These are brand new.
Yes, that's new. This Christmas tree is still here. It is post Three Kings, so
we need to take her down. She's coming down this weekend. Okay, we're not talking about that. So they get to where they're going to drop the bikes off, and then they're like, they all look at White, and they're like, well, let's go over the
plan.
Tell us
Go
the
ahead.
plan again.
Tell us
Since
the
you
plan.
came up with it, go ahead and tell us the plan.
Since this is your plan.
And he's like,
I don't need to.
The woman was too stunned to speak. I gotta.
This episode was truly like, when would you have been like, okay, you're not the same person?
I would have, like, at school is when I would have been like,
Oh, you're a different
You're a
person.
different person. Because here's my thing. Here's my actual thing. Is like, if you're a twin, if you are in a work environment, if you are in a classroom setting, if you're in like a theater group and you're meeting each other for the first time, every society on earth, there's like, the only thing in life that you can be sure of are like death and taxes. But also the third thing is like having to find a fun fact about yourself to tell in a group setting. That's the third thing across the globe. That's everybody's thing. Anybody who is a twin, that's your fun fact. Like, I do not care. Twins, let me know. Twin.
I think we
where
already.
have you been?
Okay, I think you already asked this in episode 1, and there were twins that were like, yes, the twin. Or did we just ask, is the twin thing a thing? Like,
we asked the twin thing a thing.
Okay.
You're thinking about the first time we recorded this when I did this exact same bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had it in the
going on.
notes that you said twin
No, I
is
just
fun.
remember this.
Wow.
So anyway, and I would have been like, because I remember Black told me once he had a twin, an identical twin.
Yeah.
So you're Tia.
You're Tia.
Yeah. Sean's like, okay, I'll go over the plan, I guess. Because Black's being so weird. They go through the forest, they get to the house, they break in. Before they break in, Black like gets by himself and calls Todd and is like, Todd, you wouldn't believe it. Do you remember when you told me that like
That they are in
Black
a
might
gang?
have been involved in like nefarious activity? Well, guess what?
Diva.
He's involved in nefarious activity. I'm doing nefarious acts now.
I'm about to commit a crime.
Todd, Theodore, which is the long
yes.
form of Todd.
In this, like, you're not separated from them. They're right around the corner, I
First
believe.
of all, don't make a phone call in private when you're about to set someone's house on fire.
Because they're in their, like, safe house, or, like, just where they scouted as, like, this is where we'll keep all the stuff.
Yeah. Just like a shed in the woods,
But
you know?
It's like 2 a.m. and there's no sounds around you.
There's
they
no
will
sounds.
hear
They
you
will
talking,
hear you.
girl.
Sean comes
What
in and is
are
like,
you
who the
doing?
fuck are you on the phone with? He was like, I was
looking.
calling time and temperature. I really was like gauging. It's like humid today, right? What are you doing? They go to the house. They have these like pump sprayers for the gas that
Yes,
they're gonna
it's for
spray over
gas.
everything, so that it's like an air. It mists everything
Yes,
with gas
yeah,
so that
yeah,
it
yeah.
like catches quicker. Listen, I think this is, if you're gonna take notes on
It's like-
arson, I think this is a
Yeah,
good,
it's like a
thing to take
bug
notes.
spray tool that they put gas in instead.
I think it's like actually like you can use it for like paint.
pesticide. Oh, paint.
Oh, probably
That's
that
what I'm thinking.
too.
It looks like a pesticide sprayer.
It's like you pump it.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so you had a logistical question about arson here.
They go upstairs to start spraying things down. But okay, I don't know if you've ever seen fire. It's kind of like a new invention. It travels up. It goes up.
Famously.
So you like start your fire low, and then it like will just catch everything above it.
Now, I don't have experience in arson.
Neither what the way you phrased that made it seem like I have experience in arson. I don't have experience in arson.
From the records that I've seen,
I have experience
in the South Bend records.
I have experience in accidental fire bending.
Because I accidentally wrapped a plastic lamp with a cotton t-shirt, an old raggedy cotton t-shirt.
Okay, it wasn't I wasn't wearing like a holy shirt. Here's the deal. I can't believe you're doing this.
I think it's important. It's important context.
When I was in 6th grade, I still used a nightlight. And at the time, I remember being embarrassed that I still used a nightlight because I was like, I'm in 6th grade. 6th grade was a big year for me. And my sister was also pregnant. So I was like going to become I was going to become an uncle. And so I was like, I'm like an adult. So I always talk about like when it was like 6th grade, this is when I started watching Medium. I like stopped watching the Disney Channel. I was like, she's done, girl.
I'm watching prime time.
I'm watching broadcast television in prime time.
Yeah.
I was flipping through the Entertainment Weekly and
Yes,
I was
I'm like,
saying,
this looks interesting. Okay.
now what about this CSI New York, honey? Who is she? So that was so 6th grade, but then I was still using a nightlight. So I was a little bit embarrassed because I was like,
Which is funny because now you need complete darkness.
I need complete darkness, and I actually think it's degenerate when people sleep with like a full light on. And I don't mean like, oh, you have like the door cracked and there's like the bathroom down the hall has the light on.
Yes.
No, I don't mean that. They're like, example, Jaehyun from Boy Next Door would sleep with like, he had a mask.
He had an eye mask,
he would
but
have
the
like
full
the full
overheads.
fluorescent lights on. That I think is like psychotic behavior. I think that's bad. And I'm going to stand in science on that and say probably your circadian rhythm is thrown off if you sleep in light. But it burned out, and famously nightlight bulbs are like the little ones. Yeah. Well, I'll just make my own nightlight. It's fine. I'm Thomas Edison. So I had like one of those clip lights for your headboard for like reading. So I was like, I have that. And I just I was like, oh, I'll just put this under the bed. So I was like, well, I gotta dim it somewhat.
Yeah,
diffuse. Yes.
You made your own diffuser.
I made my own diffuser. My diffuser was a t-shirt that I wrapped around the plastic light with the incandescent bulb. Not LED. Sorry,
Not LED.
For those of you who are Gen Z, this is pre-LED.
Pre-LED.
LED hadn't been invented yet. And then I went to sleep. And then
how long did you do that for?
I don't know.
How long did that lamp last before it
burned? Was the night.
Oh, it's the night
it's
of.
The whole. Oh no! This wasn't like days and weeks. This was like
this entire time in the story. I keep thinking, and it lasted for like a month, 2 months, or something.
Oh no! It
was immediate.
It's hot. it's a lamp with a cotton around it, flammable cotton. So I go to sleep. I have a dog. His name is Max. Max is a Maltese, very sweet. He sleeps on my bed with me, so I go to sleep. I wake up. I don't even know. It's probably an hour later, is my guess, or maybe like 45 minutes. I wake up, and I think like the thing that woke me up is like, I thought there was like a smell, so I thought like maybe Max had like pooped in the room or something. So I was like, I woke up, I went down the hallway, went to the bathroom, I came back, and like as I was coming back to the room, I was like, the hallway is like foggy. There's fog in the hallway. So first of all, I probably was like, I'm still in a dream, because it like looked like a dream. Like when you like nothing makes sense. So then I walked in. My dog Max is like full like
knocked
inhaling
out.
Plastic.
Yeah, knocked out.
Plastic smoke. So I was like, this is so weird. And that's when like I look under the bed and I was like, oh my God, I see the fire.
It's a small fire.
It's a small fire under my bed.
Within the cone of the, was it inside or it has burned through?
It's burned through. Yeah. There's like a fire. It's plasticky. It's not great. It's got, when you burn plastic, it has a little bit of that like green color too. It's like weird. So I was like, shit. And I came downstairs and Mom was like, Adam, what are you doing up? There's a fire in my room. And she was like, what? And I go, there's a fire under my bed. My mom at the time this was like her pre her gastric bypass. Mm-hmm. So it was like a heavier lady. She flew up the stairs. Like the wings of God carried her up the stairs. She ran down the hall. She grabbed my bed, full bed, throws it all the way up against the wall. And I want to be clear, the fire was not, it was a fire, so there's danger. But it was like this big.
Okay.
So it was a fire, but it wasn't like...
You can cover it with like a pot. And
yes,
it probably would have died.
Probably would have put it out.
Yeah.
And I call 911.
The cordless.
And I explain like, hi, this is my name. I live at this address. My bedroom's on fire. Mom hears the conversation. She grabs the phone and she's like, my son's room is ablaze. Send your fire trucks immediately, and hangs up. She is looking at our house like she's like, I have to remember what this looks like because I'll never see this again. Yeah. It's gone. And then we hear a fire truck. And then we hear another fire truck.
Oh my God.
And then we hear a third fire truck. It's probably 11 o'clock is my guess. Because I think I remember Mom counting and being like, okay, there's another one. She was like proud of the fact that like we were getting.
She's like, this is where my tax dollars are going, saving my life.
So we have all these stuff. It's like 11 o'clock. So of course the neighbors aren't asleep yet. So they're like all poking their heads out and being like,
what the hell
what's
is
happening?
going on?
The firemen come out. She tells them like it's upstairs at the very end of the hall is the bedroom, and that's where the fire is. So then they come out a couple minutes later and they're like, okay, well, it's out.
They stepped on it. I am 100% sure they stepped on it. 100%.
They were like, well, it's out. They like brought it out with them and they were like, this is what was on fire. What is this? First of all, what the fuck is it? And I was like, oh, it was like, and I explained and they're like, okay, well, if you need a nightlight, just leave the light. Like, we don't need to jerry rig a nightlight. So I do have experience. Of course I was.
And but see, that you started that fire on the second floor.
I did. And that's why I think if it was first floor, I think the whole house would have gone up.
Yeah.
That's my note is if you really want to burn a house quicker, start on the first floor.
Anyway.
Was that worth it for anybody? And then, because they're like supposed to do different parts of the house. And then Sean is like, did you do it? He's like, oh yeah, I totally did it. And then as if like that's I don't know. I guess it's just like he's doing it for himself, like mentally to be like, at least I didn't assist really.
Yeah.
If you don't light it and you don't spread the flame, spread the
like,
gas.
what? Do you think it's gonna is that gonna hold in court? Oh no, I dumped it out. I wasn't.
It was so when the explosion happened, because there was just a bunch of gas in the
tubes.
In the tubes. Yeah, that was me for sure. So then they light the fire. I really like that. I'm pretty sure they lit something on fire for the show.
They lit a damn house on fire.
This is not CGI.
No.
And then as they're like leaving, White looks up and notices that there was some guy also in the house with a mask on, who we know as the audience has been like graffitiing the wall of the house.
Well, for my dumbass during the reaction was like, well, I don't know if that's like someone graffitiing, like they snuck in, or like Tawi hired a muralist and like commissioned an artist to like draw a painting on the wall
at 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m. in an empty house with all the lights off.
Well, this is like what's weird is like I think it's very boring to be like, how do they not know? But like there is a little bit of like, they don't have them like whisper.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like walking around and talking because they think no one's there.
Mm-hmm. So hey, I think we should start over here.
Why don't you? Did you spray the gas?
Make sure you spray the gas so when we burn this place.
Them, but I do think then maybe it's because his
his spray is also loud because so you won't hear someone like the guard. Yeah,
right there because there was a guard that
they took care of.
Sean took care of it for White.
For White because Diva was like,
oh my God. He walks into this room. They were like, there's a guard here for sure. Oh, just walks into this dark room, like clear as fucking day. So the graffiti boy gets caught. So White runs back inside to be like, I'm going to be the hero that saves graffiti boy. The rest of them are like, White's who they think is black, 100% going to die. We also have to run in after him. White gets immediately back in the house, inhales a gulp of smoke, and then is like, ah. So, Graham goes somewhere. I don't know where Graham goes.
He's trying to clear I don't know.
We don't know. It's very weird because we know Sean is the one who saves White. And I think they're supposed to just look to see where they find him. And then we just like see Yok like save him basically. They have this like moment where they look in each other's eyes and there's like immediate attraction or whatever. But I was
very clear sexual tension right away.
So clear. I love that, but I don't love that it's while the house is on fire and they're inside of it. I was like, can we move? Can we bring it out? Can we bring it out to the garden maybe? Me and Yok. And then Sean saves White. He like after the fire, Sean is like, you need to start acting like yourself again before I start asking goddamn questions. Like are you the twin? When White has his like moment where he kind of like sees a vision of black and it's just like, I just didn't think the show was gonna do. It's very interesting. He like sees Black and is like, "Why are you doing this? I know that what Taui's doing is wrong,
Yeah.
and like you respect the law, but you're also like destroying the law by doing this." And this is like the crux of the show, basically, the moral argument of like, which is morally more just?
Yeah.
Like, is it better to try to fight things in the ostensibly correct way, or is it better to just like do whatever it takes to
Anarchy.
like yeah. And I don't think as long as human beings will ever live on the earth that there's ever going to be the
No.
definitive answer for
Yeah.
this.
That's kind of why we keep getting into wars and trying to buy Canada, you know?
Listen. And White's like, he comes out and he's like, well, I think I'm going to quit.
I think I'm done, you guys. I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice.
I've just filed my official resignation with HR.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
It was really nice working with you guys. You were such a great group of people. All the best. I love it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What do you mean you quit? You already burned the house down.
Yeah, I don't think you get to quit once the criminal act
is done. You did it, girl. You win. Congrats.
Yeah, and it was your plan.
And it was your plan.
I just think like
Oh boy.
for someone who's supposed to be as smart as his character is, there's just a lot of like cause and effect.
Well, that's the thing.
not
He's
really
very.
thinking
I
about.
think it's only episode 2, but I wonder if it's going to be like it's so clearly just book smart,
Yeah.
or just not necessarily like the street smart, which obviously is what Black
Well, it's also
survived
because
on.
it's a very interesting way to do like they're two brothers, they're twins.
They're two brothers on their way. You could say
One
one
more
more
blue.
black
and
one was white.
It's very interesting to like because it's very hard to do even like the Parent Trap, which is like already the joke I made last week about this idea.
But probably the most iconic
Twins being separated thing in pop culture.
in pop culture.
Ever.
Yeah, totally.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Besides like maybe something on like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Because there's always
There's
twins
always
on
a
soap.
twin.
Yeah. There's always an evil twin.
Yeah.
This is like even that because it's a Nancy Meyers film, they're both upper class.
Right.
This is a interesting way for them to have like different levels of privilege.
Yes, yeah.
So like clearly White is the one who's like gotten a good education and
Yeah.
like his dad
That's
is
funny.
like the diplomat.
Yeah, she is. I was like, well, isn't the British one more rich? I'm like, well, no, because she has a nanny, and they like
She lives on
she lives in like Napa.
in a Napa Valley estate. Yeah. So White's like, anyway, guys, that's it. I quit. And they're fully like, oh, it's because he almost just died. That's why he's like having this reaction.
Yeah. Phew.
But Sean's like,
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Something's going on. Graham tends to White's wound, which I think is very interesting. This is the Station of the Cross.
Station of the Cross.
But it's not with the
But
right
it's not with the right guy.
person.
But is it okay? But is it? Are we getting unrequited from Graham? That's the vibe that I'm
would be-
kind of getting.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you could still have Graham end up with like black.
Black, white ends up. Yes.
Yeah. But it yeah.
Because
It could be.
Yeah.
That'd be fascinating.
The scene after makes me believe that Graham and Black may have something, or there's gay there.
Well, sure. There's Graham offers to take White home.
Yeah.
And like there's this like very young
A24.
Yeah.
Very
of them,
ladybird.
Like him like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
this
the
on the
rain
back
on
of the
your
like
skin.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Graham is like, remember when you taught me how to ride a motorcycle and you were like, just like feel the rhythm. Freedom is the oxygen of the soul. Yes. So glad you wrote that down.
That was the line.
That was the line.
So next day, this is like big news. Well, it's kind of big news. It's news, but the media is being like, anyway, this crazy fire happened in the woods at Tommy's house and it's not a big deal and nobody died and it's fine. And people are like, well, that's weird. That's weird.
The wicked house in the forest is dead.
Is friends with this girl, Miss Girl. We don't know Miss Girl's name.
So this is Miss Girl from Cooking Crush from Only Friends.
Yeah, I don't know her name, but it's Miss Girl. And she also is a graffiti artist. And he asks...
I couldn't tell if they were an item or if they were just friends. It looked like they were... It feel like they were like touchy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
So I think they're like going out.
He asks about...
What do you think of them, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think about what they did?
Do you think they're the people who did it, do you think they're heroes or do you think they're vigilantes? And she was like, well,
You think they're heroes.
It doesn't matter what you clearly think they're heroes.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck right I do. Meanwhile, at White's diplomacy school or whatever.
He's like taking the exam.
Diplomacy
He's trying to get
exam
hired in this company.
in the Senate. He runs it. He just bumps into a guy.
A chatty Cathy.
Yes.
It's kind of giving like your mom energy.
Very much so.
I was like, oh, you dropped your pencil. Oh
my
my
mother.
God.
My mother runs into someone at like the meat counter at the grocery
Yeah.
store. And
Well,
she's like,
I always have trouble with those pens too. Oh, so are you here for the diplomacy test? Did you hear what happened yesterday about the fire?
mm-hmm.
Oh.
And the guy's like, yeah, it's crazy. The media's clearly trying to cover it up. Blah 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 blah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Yok, who is the next lead of the show, basically, after the main couple, he's in a nude art class. That's fun.
So that's his faculty is art, visual art.
Which is interesting because he's going to end up with the graffiti boy, who's also an artist.
Yes.
And...
Oh, we were corrected. They are not poli-sci faculty. They're law faculty.
They're law.
But I think our statement still stands that this is poli-sci behavior.
Girls, you have to remember, we were in theater, so anything else...
Everything else is poli-sci, honestly.
Everything else doesn't... We don't know.
We don't know
We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell you about Chekhov's gun, but I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Yok is in an art class. They're painting a nude model. I like that it's not the model's naked. Isn't that titillating? Like it's
just like
because Playboy did this exact same idea, but it was about him being naked and it was about
him
was
like
that
falling in
other
love with
character name being like, oh my God, he's so hot and like jerking off while he's painting. Anyway, it was crazy. Wouldn't recommend. And then while he's like painting the model, the other girl in class like looks over and she's like, oh. And he's like, he's subconsciously drawn Graffiti Boy.
Graffiti Boy's mask.
And
mask
face,
for mask.
Yeah.
And
mask
face.
for mace.
Eyes.
Mask for Mask Singer.
Yeah.
Which was the runway theme
of
of last week's episode of Drag Race.
But like, it was the nude model's body, but masked.
Yeah.
Hot. And he kind of like smirks. He's like, he's kind of like proud of it.
Under the mask? Oh. I was like...
Under the mask, he's smiling.
Yeah.
No, he's kind of like...
I really do think... guys, I mean, this is... Everyone knows. We already talked about him in Only Friends, but like... Fist is just one of the beasts. He really is.
The beast.
He's absolutely one of the beasts.
There is a deepness in his eyes. Like
he has sorrowful eyes.
He has sorrowful eyes. They look so beautifully brown. Like when the close up of him, like drawing him, he's a
like cows have
meadows or like cow tongue.
No, cow, COW.
Oh, okay.
Like cow eyes.
Okay,
like just like
yeah.
He should never play a role where he was like, I've had the perfect life till now.
Yes.
Because his eyes
tell like there's a story.
Yes.
There's always a story
like,
behind it. This
Force, it was the exact opposite.
Yes. Force is like, I have had a privileged life.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the role
That's just
Force
the give.
needs to play. Yeah.
That's just what it's giving with his like looks and his visuals.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt so, this was the first scene that I felt like, oh, like really drawn by the show.
Drawn like he drew.
Drawn like how he drew the mask for Mask Singer.
Yeah.
Because it was just, it's just it's a close-up shot of his face drawing so seriously. But like, yeah, just, I I think so far I was really just like all in on Mons because he's so hot. But this episode was like, But this episode was like, if I had to pick just one person, I think I would pick first.
Well, I think what Gunn is doing is really interesting.
Oh, totally.
And if he's actually going to have to later in the series, like
also play Black and
in multiple things, not just in like these like I'm standing
dream
and
scenes,
you're talking to me, but like
two separate people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just like that's impressive,
yeah.
and I really like what Office. Like I like what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
They're all being directed very naturally.
Yes,
which is always in Thai BL. Like, oh. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So back at the garage, Gumpa, who's Daddy Dan. Daddy Dan. Okay, the guy who plays Daddy Dan, I do not remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Papang.
Okay. I think what I saw was that him and Gunn are the same age.
Yes. But he
Gunn is always playing like young.
Like very Kuhart energy. But not as like baby. I think Kuhart pulls off baby. Yeah.
He's Baby June.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Kuhart is Dainty June.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Kuhart is Dainty June.
Could you absolutely live?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I will fund it. I will fly over there. Who's Mama Rose? We don't know that.
Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. Cop. Okay, so Gumpa, Sean tells the story about what happened. Gumpa's like, that doesn't sound like Black at all. And then he's like, yeah, he said he's quitting. And Gumpa's like,
no.
Okay, well, you
can't do that.
You can't so
tell him
that's
to stop.
Up to you. You need to go talk to him. They're clearly holding back what their history is. Because why would he tell him that he's the one who has to tell him to come back?
It feels to me that it's, I think Sean wanted to be the leader.
Here's what I think.
That's what my theory is. I think it's leader.
I think it's Fujo. I think it's Yaoi. What I think it is that Sean told Black he loved him. And Black was like,
I'm not gay.
I'm not, or whatever.
Or whatever.
Maybe not gay. Yeah, maybe not gay.
Maybe not gay, but maybe like.
Or just what.
We got to focus on the
it's not,
job or whatever.
I'm just here to kill Towie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I think that could be fun if that was what it was.
Yeah, because it feels so focused on this mission.
Yeah.
Right? To like seek justice.
Yes. But the mission, as we've been told, is all Black's idea. All of this is like Black is the one who rallied them together to be like, we need to take down the man. So I do think it would be very interesting if like Sean had been like had feelings for him and then like was rejected, and that's why he's like, well, I still believe in the cause, but I'm upset about.
But I don't like you because you
hurt me.
Okay,
be good.
So we'll see.
Maybe in my rewrite. When this flops in the second half like every other gmmtv thing we've watched. I'm just kidding.
But the track record of the shows that you've done, you've had Bad Buddy, Last Midnight, Last Twilight.
I would say most people though do think that Biff the ending.
Really?
But I would say
you were.
I would not say it was like the best ending, but it was enough for me. I think they crossed enough T's and dotted enough I's that it worked for me. But I understand why people would not.
I'm trying to remember. I think I can't really equate it in the like happier shows.
Bad Buddy, I think, is a good. I mean, it still is like it starts to get a little like too big for the show in the end, but I still
because like Cooking Crush did have some different conflicts and like whatever, but the stakes were so low, so it doesn't really matter how bad.
Well, and Neil was with a like 17-year-old. That was so.
It was so weird.
Cooking Crush was fine, but it was like clearly not trying to do anything more than just what it was doing, which was like a chance for Off Gun to do something fun.
Yeah,
and not be like, and now go ahead and cry.
Yeah,
White is back at his condo, and he's like changing into his like because he was like wearing his white clothes,
white outfit,
and now he's like changed into his black outfit.
Yeah,
and then We see a shot of like Black flatlining at the
Yeah.
hospital, and
So
White's
she
like,
feels
"Ugh."
it. Yeah.
So she like collapses. Okay,
Twinception
twinception.
is real.
People have commented they
Mhm.
can feel each other, especially when they're in proximity of each other, like closer.
That's cool.
It is cool. It is also like, what does that mean? You can't science that. What does that mean?
Who needs science?
Who needs her? Miss Science. Black finally like comes to, and then like White is able to like collect himself. There's a knock at the door. He opens the door. Sean's there. Sean's like, you got to come back to the garage. And he's like, well, I don't really want to. And he's like, well, it wasn't a request. You have
You
to.
have to.
And then he like there's this shot. They have had, I don't want to say no chemistry because I think they naturally just have chemistry together. But
it's a rough start because it just has to be like,
it's been very cold.
I don't want to show that I'm not who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
There is a shot of White like going to close the door, and then he looks down the stairs again, like the stairs up to the unit or whatever. He looks down the stairs, and Sean like is like looking up, like still watching him, and then is like, oh, and like run, like keeps going. And I was like, That's the morsel that I need.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna slow burn me in that regard, and it's gonna be like 12 episodes from now is when they finally like hold hands or whatever, like that's fine, because it's just enough to like wet my whistle, but there's so much going on that it's like understandable why it's all being pushed to the side.
And it's like an interesting morsel. It's like,
it's because it's him.
Because it's him. It's him doing it. Not, yes.
It's because he loves him.
Oh, the Fujo brain.
Because it's not the other way.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at him and be like, oh, let me watch him as he leaves.
But he's so hot, this guy that hates me.
Right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Black is like, well, I guess I should learn how to ride the motorcycle. So he calls Todd over. Todd teaches him how to drive the motorcycle. He's very delicate about it. And then Todd finally, I can't believe Todd didn't say this before this point, by the way, but he's literally like, okay, so you actually have to start acting like Black.
Yeah, you can't just get the tattoo.
You can't just get the tattoo and be like, well, I did it. Yeah. I'm Black.
Hey, my fellow anarchists.
It's literally, how do you do, my fellow
youths? Yeah.
He's like, you have to actually think like Black.
Yeah.
So now he's like, okay, I got to be cool and hip and
it really, I mean, from what it sounds like, Black is a person who is like, throws caution to the wind. Like impulsive, like live and let die. You know what I mean?
And then, so he like rides the motorcycle, and then he's going to the garage. Sean pulls up next to him. They ride together.
They ride together in the wind.
And that's the end of the episode. He has like a little bit of a voiceover. But that's pretty much the end of it.
That's the A24. It's these like riding segments.
Yes, but I actually think, okay, can I tell you the craziest part of this show that I found out? This show is based on a GOT7 fanfic.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing this comment.
White
is Jackson Wang?
Is Bam Bam.
Wait, and it's like brothers, or they wrote Bam Bam a twin?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. But I am absolutely Googling.
Who's Sean?
It.
Do we know?
First of all, I'd have to know any of the
other members.
I know obviously Jackson Wang is one, but I don't know which one he is.
I know Jin Young.
Cool.
They're back. Who's your MVP?
To the Gaudis.
Not the Italian family.
Sorry. I don't know what the GOT7 fan base is called. The Gaudis.
Who was your MVP this ep?
It's first.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
It's first. Except I really think Off is doing.
I know he's doing a good job. I think. Again, Cooking Crush is the only thing we've seen of them, but like there was a little bit of awkwardness in him playing such a goofy character because like
Who Gun or Off?
Off. because his character's supposed to be like, I'm supposed to be a doctor or whatever. Like I have to
He's
be
like
prim
so
and
serious.
proper. So serious.
The comedy is how serious
He's so
he is,
serious,
yeah.
like robotic. He's like,
Yeah.
if I stop breathing,
Yeah.
then I can slow down my pace or whatever. But here he's doing a really good job being like scary and intimidating.
Also saying that I don't like saying I'm not autistic, so I don't love saying this, but like that character read very autistic to me.
Yeah.
In like a way I thought was very interesting.
Yes, yeah. I wish they ran
In
with
Cooking
it, but I
Crush.
think they were, yeah.
No.
But no.
But it's also, I mean, because then you like, I don't know.
You
I
get
do
into
understand, because then
yeah.
it's like, should you be doing that? Like,
Yeah.
if you're not.
If you're
you know
not
what I
writing
mean?
it like a
Yeah.
genuine thing, yeah. Yeah, I think, first eye acting is one of the best in the biz.
Yeah.
Truly.
He's very intense. It's
Yeah.
very
Intense, but it
energized.
doesn't feel like it intimidates you. It's intense,
Right.
but in a way that draws you in.
It's like he just is like connects to his scene partner.
Yeah.
In a very real way.
Yeah.
Please join us on patreon.com/boysloveboyslove. You can join at the bow level, which is our middle tier. And there we are doing reactions to Not Me. And those are in conjunction with the recaps that we do on YouTube. So
See you there.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.